Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
You never heard of the Sultan of SWAT?
The Titan of Terror.
Colossus of Clout?
The King of Trash, man.
Oh, yeah, the Great Bambino. I thought you said the Great Bambi. That wimpy deer?
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to Go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late-inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. Throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC. We're back with another week of the Best of Tailgate Talk. We've only got one more week before we're back live from the Athens Applebee's, when we will welcome back a previous guest, Jean Fruth, who has a follow-up to her book Grassroots Baseball, Where Legends Begin, called Grassroots Baseball, Route 66. We'll hear all about that in a couple of weeks. This week features previous guests as well. Pat Donahue, son of Coach Ken Donahue, along with a special surprise guest at the time. We'll also revisit our talk with Coach Matt Lyle, who has coached baseball and softball at every level. A conversation with former NBA forward and center Terry Cummings follows that, as well as a segment with Roger Maris Jr. with a little help from guest co-host Cameron Turner. Then we wrap things up with former cornerback Eddie Metter, who played with the Los Angeles Rams from 1959 to 1970. So stay with us. The Best of Tailgate Talk will be right back after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Tune in every Tuesday through Thursday this coming football season for the WKAC Coaches Shows. Join us as we get the scoop from Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Tanner, and West Limestone. The WKAC Coaches Shows on 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of our guests, Mighty Mike Simmel, formerly with the Harlem Wizards. Now, our connection is our friend Todd Tomlin, who you had reached out to him.
Oh, he reached out to us.
He reached out to you through the Autism Society. So you and Todd are close to this, so I'm going to let you and Todd take on with that. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mike.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, good morning, buddy. How you been? I'm good. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. So, I've been bragging on you for the last couple of weeks, and so I'm so glad you could do the show and share what all you do with everybody, because it's really phenomenal. So, besides playing for the Harlem Wizards back in the day, you've started out your own nonprofit called Bounce Out the Stigma Project, and and go all over the country and outside the country too as well, right?
Yes, it's currently, we've been in over 20 states in the United States, and we branch out, and we work with kids with special needs, and it's a lot of fun, and we've been in existence for 13 years. I started the program because when I was 16 years old, I've had seizures since the age of 2, epilepsy. When I was 16 years old, I had a seizure at a basketball camp, and the camp wanted to send me home. And basically, in 2005, when I started the program, me and my dad were like, we remembered the fact that when this happened, I never wanted another child to feel the same way that I felt. And so we started the program, and we want no child to feel limitations, and we want kids to feel good about themselves. So that's why we created the program. Yeah, and it's phenomenal.
And you called it Bounced Out because you were almost bounced out of the camp.
That's
there.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly right. And bounce out too, like bouncing the basketball too. So it's a double correlation. So you got that.
So for those that don't know, we've been trying to collaborate on a camp here in North Alabama, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if. But we opened it up to all disabilities, autism, epilepsy, Downs, and any neurological disorder. And so for anybody that might be listening and want to volunteer, we're shooting for September 8th at Huntsville High School, and if not, we'll find another venue. But Alabama and Auburn both have kind of off games. I think Auburn has Alabama State, and we have Arkansas State. So,
okay.
So those are we won't interfere with football, and that's why we chose that date.
You can't do that.
Can't down here, Mike. Mike understands the importance of that oblong ball and what it means to all of us down here. So share with us a little bit too about your time with the Harlem Wizards, and about you performed at halftime of the Final Four and stuff like that. Share with us about that and how cool that is.
So it was great. I mean, I had the opportunity. I grew into what I did. Coming out, I played in high school and college. I played in high school at Don Bosco Prep, which is a powerhouse in New Jersey, and then I played in college. I played at a small school in upstate New York in Westchester County called SUNY Purchase. I had epilepsy. I worked through my epilepsy in high school and college and stuff, and then I performed on Showtime at the Apollo, and a guy named Steve Harvey, you guys know.
Yes.
He said some nice things about me, and from that time I really wanted to get involved with Showtime basketball.
He did say your name right?
I'm sorry, what?
He did say your name right.
Yes, he did. He did say my name right, and he got where I was from and everything, yeah. So, I mean, I was on there, and they accepted me and everything, and from that time, I was like, I want to get involved with Showtime basketball, and whether it was with Globetrotters or the Wizards, whoever it was, I knew I wanted to do it, and I had started my own company when I was in college, speaking at basketball camps, and from then to when I was into my adult years, I'd spoken at over 450 camps, and when I was in college, I reached out to the Wizards and I said, I think I could play for you guys. Initially, they thought I was a little bit crazy because who I was and they'd never heard of me. But then they invited me to come to their camp and show them my tape. So I showed the road manager my tape, and he thought it was amazing. And he said, "You're going to speak on Friday." So I spoke on Friday to all the campers, and the president organization was there, and so he basically invited me to tryouts, gave me a W2 form, and said, okay, we're good to go. And then I played my first game in my hometown, wowed the audience with a game time demonstration at halftime, and also played in the game. And the next thing I knew, I got a big article written about me in the local paper, and then I had my own contract, and then I was good to go. I played in the team for 13 years, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of stuff, and it was just a good opportunity just to do a lot of really cool things in the community. It was a lot of sizzle, but not a lot of substance. But I learned a lot of stuff, and but I took that. I learned some stuff from there. I learned some stuff from speaking at the basketball camps, working basketball camps. Experiences when I was in college of working as a substitute teacher in college. I took all those experiences now and then basically brought them into now working at my own basketball camps now that I run basketball camps. And that's what I do now when I run these camps. And, I have a little bit of everything, and I kind of add a little more spice to it, too. And we make this camp the most unique camp in the country for kids, and so that they don't feel any limitations, they don't feel anything wrong. So these kids feel really open, and they can have fun, and they can be free, and they can just have a great time. And that's what we try to do with these kids. And I've had a lot of good helpers along the way, and a lot of people come in and they come and speak at the camp. I've had Coach Bob Hurley from St. Anthony's High School in Visit City, who's a Hall of Fame coach who's been great with us. And I've had one of my friends, Greg Brittenham, who former strength and conditioning coach in New York Knicks, who's helped me out tremendously, giving me a lot of good stuff where I could work with the kids with. And so it's been a great road, and I've had a lot of other great speakers too. Just been really helpful with the camp and helped me out tremendously, just giving me more tidbits of information that I could use and help with the kids with. So it's just been a great road these last several years, and hopefully it keeps going, it keeps continuing. And I've been blessed with a great family too, and I think when you do something like this, you always have to have a great support network. And even with my own personal battles with epilepsy, it's just been a great road to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and have a great network that you can depend on.
Did you have, when playing high school ball and then going on to college, did you have coaches that had issues with the epilepsy and worried that something could happen on the court? Did that scare or some of the coaches, or do you have to deal with that?
In high school, I kind of kept it. I didn't have my first seizure in high school. Between the ages of 2 through 7, I had drop seizures, and then they didn't come back until I was 16 years old and at that camp. So I had a period between 7 to 16 where I had no seizures. Okay. And then at 16, I kind of kept it. I kind of didn't tell anybody about it when I was in high school. But they knew, but they didn't really say, nothing was really said or anything like that. Nothing. They weren't really where they had to worry about it. It was kind of like I was having them in the morning, the seizures that I had. All the seizures I had were in the morning, so they'd be before school and things like that. I had a couple at a prep school that I was at for 1 year, and the coaches were really good about it. They, a couple of times I had them where I couldn't play in the games that day because I had them before the day of a game, and they just, they said, look, you can't play in the game, but, it's fine. Just go rest, go in your dorm room and just rest, and we'll be okay. You could travel with us, but you'll be fine. But then when I was in college, I had a couple in college, and they were pretty bad. I fell down like a 30-foot flight of stairs.
Wow.
Yeah. I had one in the bathroom where I cut open my foot. I had a couple of real bad ones, and the coaches were really good in college too. Everybody. You can't really. It's one of those things that it's kind of like it wasn't as talked about. It's not like it's talked about a lot today, but it wasn't really talked about as much as it is today back then. But they were very, very open with me, and they were good about it. But it was really my own fears of getting over these disabilities than it is, because I was just a kid, and I just didn't know any better, and it was just tough to deal with. And I wanted to be closer to home, so that's why I went to Purchase, and it was only about a half hour from my house, and it was close to my doctors that I had to see a specialist in New York City, so it was kind of like in between the doctor and my house, and so if I needed to go see anybody, I could go, and so it was a good place to go to. So it was a good thing. But yeah, so dealing with epilepsy is a tough thing. I think for any kid, especially when you're in your teen years, because you're dealing with the social aspects and the social stigma, so to speak. Yeah. So you got a lot of things to deal with, and I just think that it's just like I said, a blessing to have a good family around you that can help you through the storm and weather through the storm, so to speak. So it is what it is.
Well, now, whenever you were playing in high school and college, now I don't know what your playing style was. I've read stories about guys like Bob Cousy and Pistol Pete Maravich, catching their teammates by surprise, maybe hitting them in the head with a pass or something, Yeah. And I know the game is a little bit flashier now days. Did you have those issues?
I was kind of like I was a hard-nosed player, and I threw a lot of flashy passes where I would catch some of my big men in the face with the ball sometimes. I was a pass-first point guard.
There you go.
Didn't score a lot of points. Didn't look to shoot a lot. Always was a pass-first guy, and that may have hurt me, with my stats. But because they didn't really count assists back then, they didn't do as rigorously stat counting as they did, nowadays. But I was a pass-first guy, and I took a lot of charges, and I was a hard-nosed guy. I was always diving for loose balls. I broke my nose 3 times on the basketball court, so it's just crazy. But I was a hard-nosed guy, and I did tend to hit my big men in the face a couple times with the ball.
They learned after that, though.
It transitioned to playing with the Wizards. It was actually a natural fit because all the flashy stuff that I did back then and in the schoolyard, playing with. And then when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I started playing with. Because I was playing, as I got older, I got to play with older guys. To transition, I was playing with older guys in the schoolyard, 30 and 35-year-old guys, and they wouldn't let me play in the game unless I passed them the ball. So that's how I got that natural feel. So I was just a guy who would handle the ball and pass, and I would make my foul shots. And God forbid, if I lost, I'd have to be able to make foul shots to stay in the game and be that extra guy, could stay on the court with them if there's odd numbers that were out of the game. So that's kind of how it worked.
That's great. Well, before we let you go, man, this is Todd again. I want, because you weren't going to bring it up on your own, but you and me were talking about I guess Julian Maha and what he does with Culture City, and has the sensory rooms there at all the arenas, or beginning to have in all the arenas. Share with us about your work with the Philadelphia 76ers and the honor that they gave you, man.
Yeah.
It was great. The Sixers were phenomenal. I mean, I've worked with the Philadelphia 76ers for the last 2 years and doing an autism awareness night. They had autism awareness night, and we did autism awareness basketball clinics for the last 2 years. We've had accumulated over 50 kids in the last 2 years. Each clinic had over 50 kids. And this year was at their practice facility. And Coach Brett Brown was there working in the clinic, which is amazing. Like, you don't see an NBA coach get his hands dirty, let alone just he would just make an appearance and bounce out. But this guy, Brett Brown, he come to the clinic, work with the kids, do drills with them. I mean, it was amazing. And so at this clinic this year, they presented me with a jersey with my name on the back of it, Mighty Mike. Okay. And then they had Autism Awareness Night. They gave me the councilman of Philadelphia gave me a citation from the city and honored me. And they surprised me with that. They kind of hid me in the back, gave me a VIP treatment, me and my mom. And then basically at halftime, they gave me the Game Changer Award, which is a special award that they give to someone in the community that does good things. And that was at halftime, and that was in front of the whole crowd, in front of center court. So, I mean, we are so privileged to be able to work with organizations like the Philadelphia 76ers, who not just are great organizations, but people who care about people in the community and actually basically put their money to where their mouth is and do great things. Because a lot of people say they do good things, but they don't do it. These people, they do it. They're in the community. Their community organizations actually work with kids. They believe it, they do it, and they actually are part of it. So that's a good thing.
Mike, tell everyone listening to us where they can find your Facebook page.
Sure. Well, my website is bounceouttthestigma.org or mightymikebasketball.com. And then my Facebook page is Bounce Out the Stigma, Mighty Mike Simmel. You can just type in Mighty Mike Simmel.
That's what I did. I got it.
Yeah. So you just type in Mighty Mike Simmel, and you'll find my Facebook page. So definitely want to get a lot more likes there. You'll see more stuff coming up as the summer progresses. We're going to a lot of different places this summer and doing a lot more camps down south and all over the country. And so hopefully when we come to Alabama, you guys can come visit us and definitely get some good grub and get the Alabama ways and Roll Tide.
There we go. We got an Auburn guy on there, Mike. So you
Thank you. Oh, that's great. You kidding me? What this guy does, I don't care if he says Roll Tide.
You couldn't end it any better, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good job. Thanks, Mike, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
You too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, is that a wrap?
I agree. How can you wrap that any better, Tom Kit?
War Eagle.
Oh, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have our special guest, Alan Massengale. Alan, welcome to the show, buddy.
It's my honor to be on the show in the great state of Alabama.
And with us being from Alabama, and Tom, our host here, main host, he's a big Auburn fan.
Well,
me and Clint and Tim are Alabama fans. And what school was that you went to down the road from us?
I went to the great institution of higher learning.
Wow.
The University of Georgia. A class of 1980, the last time we managed to win a national championship, mainly because of the folks over there in Tuscaloosa who keep whipping our butt. And Georgia fans, Alabama fans have a lot in common. I'm not going to speak for Auburn fans. I might upset some of your audience, but Alabama and Georgia fans have a lot in common because we are class institutions, and we love our football. And I'm watching SEC Nation here. I've relocated from Los Angeles after 30 years to back to God's country. So I'm down here in Tampa, Florida, and being treated at the world-renowned Cancer Center. I was diagnosed with cancer about 5 years ago. People hadn't seen me on the air that much doing what I usually do, and I've kind of semi-retired because I take care of this. They gave me 6 months to live, and I fought it, and I'm still here. And I highly recommend people, if you have, always, I want to get this out there. I have a program called Scope-A-Dope. As you know, Tim, I do a lot of boxing around the world for Top Rank and the International Olympic Committee, and so I knew Muhammad Ali pretty well, and so I named my commitment to getting colonoscopy called Scope-A-Dope after Rope-A-Dope, because
that's great.
If you don't get scoped, you're a dope. It's the only preventable cancer. I wanted to get that out there. Don't do this to your family. Don't do it to your friends. This be in 2020. You can follow me on Facebook, Alan Massengale, and I'll lead you to all the other stuff. And let's do some good in 2021 and forget about this lousy 2020 year.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, man, kudos to you for doing all this and making awareness for all those others,
We say, you got to take something negative and make it positive. I'm a Southern boy, as you guys probably know. I was born in Cleveland, Tennessee. There's the hometown of Steve Sloan. You Alabama people might have heard Steve Sloan.
Yeah, we know old Steve.
My father's in the. Is this the Auburn guy?
No, that's Todd. Todd's the Bama guy. Auburn guy's keeping quiet over here.
He's keeping quiet.
Just a little bit.
We can gang up on Auburn. And my father's in the Sports Hall of Fame there in Bradley County, Tennessee, and I grew up in Atlanta and as a Georgia Tech fan, if you believe it or not, with Tim King back in the 60s. And then I followed Doug Dickey when he was the coach at Tennessee, and never really thought I was going to Georgia, but I had some small college offers to play ball and baseball and football. But I went to Georgia because I realized that there's no place on earth I can get a better education at the greatest school that there is. So that's pretty much what happened.
Nice endorsement there, without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to laugh.
Well,
we were stunned.
We're shocked.
We were stunned.
Shocked, man's a word.
We didn't out of respect. So
yeah, you are our guest. So
I know what it was. You were in shock that somebody would say such a thing. You didn't know how to respond.
Alan, I work with a guy who is he is a Georgia Tech grad, and he works in Akron. I work down here, and but he I don't know which is worse. He fusses at me because Auburn hadn't beaten you guys in like forever. He says, when you finally going to beat Georgia? But
you can ask him the same.
I did. That's what I do. He said, well, Georgia Tech's not supposed to beat Georgia.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about being a Southerner. When I got to ESPN, and I've had such a great life. I mean, a kid from South Atlanta on the wrong side of the tracks who's seen the world like I have, and been able to do what I have done in broadcasting with Fox and with ABC and ESPN. Growing up in South Atlanta, when I got to ESPN, they never really lived in the mid '80s. They weren't what they are now, and they had never met a Southerner, and so they kind of just stared at me, kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I said they didn't. I had to explain to them, like Greg Gumbel and Chris Berman and Tom Mees, God rest his soul, all my friends up there. I said, I got to explain to you. Well, Tom knew. Tom Mees had been at Florida State and worked in Tallahassee, and I said, I got to explain to you about football in the South. I said, you guys follow a lot of pro up here, but down south it's religion. And they got a kick out of it because and then they put me on the college beat, and I would go and do different previews for the SEC, and I did a great feature once on Georgia, Florida, that played all over the country. But as you boys know, it's a different world down here, and we're proud of it. And I was proud to represent the Southerners for the first. Everybody in ESPN at the time, and they're still kind of that way, was either from New England or North. So, and I'd never lived in snow in the winter, and so it was,
that's got to be an adjustment.
Well,
it was.
You have and still do represent the South very good. One question would be is, so after getting into broadcasting, and you can share a little bit with how and why you want to do that. But so obviously you don't sound like we do. on the radio.
Obvi.
Yeah. Did you have to? You have to, or did they ask you to kind of lose the Southern draw? I'm sure you had one.
Well, the situation is in all jobs, especially if you're going to be a national broadcaster, different things. There's certain standards that are acceptable by the public. It's not so much me worrying about having the accent. Of course, I've lived in New York and I lived in California for 30 years, so I didn't hear a lot of the accent. But what happened was I was writing for the Atlanta Journal when I was 19. I was writing Atlanta Journal. I was writing high school sports, and in the summers I would write for the because that's really what I pride myself on is writing. And in the summers I was covering whatever the other writers didn't want to cover. Like in those days, the Braves. Nobody wanted to cover the Braves. But what happened was I was at the University of Georgia, and I'm in journalism school, and a professor comes up, a legendary professor named Bill Martin, and he says, aren't you Alan Nightingale?
Nightingale?
Yeah. And I said, well, yes, it's Massengale. He said, no, I know your reputation. I call you Nightingale. But anyway, so he said, I want you to try out for my news show on the television. And I said, well, sir, I don't really want to do television because I don't speak English. And I was born to see in Eastern Tennessee, so I had an Appalachian, hillbilly, accent combined with Georgia, which was a real mess.
Oh, you were messed up.
In Georgia, every word has two syllables in it, whether or not it needs it.
That's good.
Oh, man. Yeah, you add a syllable, like my name is Alan in Georgia. And of course, in Eastern Tennessee, where my family's from, foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, they don't move their upper lip, and they look like they're smiling no matter what happens. They talk like this. They go, "How you doing, Dad?" He says, "My dog died, and my grandmother got run over by a truck, but I'm fine. How are you?" You're smiling, Billy Bob. Yeah, no, it's been a rough day. How are you? So I got a combination of that, and so. Believe it or not, that's a great question because I was sent away to Georgia Southwestern College in Americus, Georgia, to spend 3 months with a linguistics expert to help me with my accent. Now, I still have a Southern accent. It comes out. I think it's good in sportscasting. Keith Jackson, he was from Georgia. He was my mentor. And, all these great Southern baseball announcers, they were Ernie Harwell and all those guys. And so I had to go work with a linguistics expert, and what I found out was, basically, you would hear yourself talk, and then they'd play the recording back, and then you would have to try to get rid of the horrible, bad accent where people can't understand you. And I found out that the Southern accent, basically, is Cockney English slowed down, because the Cockneys, that's who settled. Nobody else would come here except the people out of jail that settled Georgia. And so... that and
the Scottish
and the Scottish, and I've got all that, the Scottish, but and so when they talk, they clip everything. You're walking, talking, running, and walking, like that. And so if you slow it down, it comes out walking, talking, running, and so I actually did have to. But I got the job, and the professor came to me and says, "I got good news and bad news." I say, "Wait, so you're going to anchor my news show with Deborah Norville?" I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a Georgia graduate.
Yeah.
And a beautiful lady and a friend of mine. And so he said, the bad news is you got the good news, you got the job. Bad news is you're right. You cannot speak English. So we're going to have to do something about this. And that's the history of that. But
well, maybe you could have gotten Deborah to come out with her Georgia accent, and both of you could.
She doesn't. Well, she's a faker like me. She's from Dalton.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh, I didn't realize she's from Dalton.
She's from Dalton, carpet capital of the world.
Carpet capital of the world.
Yes, sir. So that's a little bit of my boring story, but that was a good question.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Here's the question I got for you, Alan. It's 1988, man, one of the greatest times of my life when I was a kid. All right, Todd. When I was a kid in 88. Mm-hmm. I mean, my favorite, I Lived My Life by Miami Vice, and I read your bio where in 1988 you were in Miami doing the Don Shula show, man. Tell us about those times in Miami.
I got to tell you something. Coach Shula and I had such a wonderful relationship. God rest his soul. What happened was I got tired of freezing my butt in New England, and so I got an offer. I got an offer from ABC in Miami, and ESPN at the time didn't match the offer because they weren't paying anything, and you know they didn't want to commit that much money, which wasn't a lot, but it was more than I was making, about double. So I get down to Miami, and of course in Miami you got to understand, in those days the Dolphins, that was just the first year of the Heat. That was it. Coach Shula ran the media in that town, and people were terrified of Coach Shula with that jaw, you know. Yeah. And so I decided, being cocky and young, that I would not spend any time talking with him about his show. His show in 1988 had a 63 share of the audience, which is the highest rated show ever. It came on between 8 and 9 o'clock before Monday Night Football, and we were ABC station. So if you were anybody, you watched the Don Shula show on Monday night. He made a fortune off that show. He's a great businessman. So what happened was I kept avoiding him because, you know, I wanted to kind of be on the same terms with him in terms of the show, although he was a star. And so we get to the show, the show's about to start, and he looks up, the teleprompters are not turned on. And he'd been working with the same guy for 15 years, Chuck Dowdle, who went to Atlanta. I don't know if you guys know WSB in Atlanta, but Chuck Dowdle, Georgia graduate, was in Miami for years, and I replaced him. So Coach Shula looks up and says, "Alan, are you going to turn on the prompters?" And I looked at him and I said, "Coach, don't worry about it. You do the coaching and you do the commentating, and I'll do the broadcasting, and we'll be fine." And he grabbed my knee and said, "I like that." So I never wrote anything, and so from then on, that broke the ice. And so we never turned on the prompters because, let's face it, they just played the Jets yesterday. I got Dan Marino sitting there. I got Jim Jensen sitting there. I got Coach Shula sitting there. What do I need a teleprompter for? The score was 27-24, and we're going to talk about the game. So he always got a kick out of that. And he was except one time they were having a really bad season, and I said, "Coach, it's going pretty bad. It's for the show." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think they'll let you keep your freeway?" You know, the Don Shula.
Yeah.
He didn't like that, but it was just a different world. If you have a little time, I'll tell you another Don Shula story in Miami. I got a call in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
And I did the Shula show and also did the Miami with Jimmy Johnson when he was there. Nice. And I got a call from Shula, and he says, "Alan, you need to get on the first plane you can get and get to Dallas." I said, "Coach, what are you sending me to Dallas for?" He said, "Trust me, get to Dallas." And so I started putting two and two together. I got the first plane out, and I got to Dallas before the massacre hit when they fired Landry. And I was able to take a picture of the Jerry Jones plane with the Dallas logo star on it at the airport, the private airport. So I broke the national story about, nobody could believe it, that Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones were going to buy the Cowboys. So I was on ESPN all that day doing what they wouldn't pay me enough to do years before, which was breaking the story. But that was because of Shula. Shula was wired in that he controlled the narrative, he controlled the media, and if you crossed him in that town, but he didn't mind you being fair. I mean, I was fair, but if you crossed him, you weren't going to get many interviews with the Dolphins or Shula, period. In those days, he was the Bear Bryant. He was Bear Bryant of Miami. That's what he was. And great times. I was out, believe it or not, guys, I was out at dinner in Long Beach, California, where I'd moved from, at a seafood restaurant. There's a couple of good old boys sitting at a table over from me, and the guy kept looking at me. I said, "I wonder what he wants." And I walked to the restroom, and he said, aren't you the guy who did the Don Shula show? I said, "That's 30 years ago."
Wow.
So people still remembered the show, and it was a great time to be in Miami. Absolutely, it was just a lot of fun, and I left there because I had to, because President of ABC took me to L.A., so that was what happened. But it's an amazing time.
Yeah. Alan, this is Tom. I was actually fortunate enough to meet Coach Shula about a year or two before his death. He opened those Shula Burger franchises. And I was staying in Fort Lauderdale in a brand new Shula Burger, and they were really good burgers. They were expensive, but they were good burgers. And I walked in there, and they were doing a TV interview, and they're set, Coach Don Shula.
Oh man!
And I got to meet him and talk to him a little bit.
And
I was just Yeah. He made his money actually. Not he had he was the highest paid coach at the time, which was probably $250,000 a year in 1968 or whatever. We went to the Dolphins, but he made his money in burger franchises. He owned a bunch of Burger Kings out west.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
that's how he got into the restaurant business with his son David, and I can't forget with the Shula Steakhouses, which I just saw a Shula Steakhouse over in Orlando the other day, and I thought a lot about him, and he was just the certain people you meet in sports like Coach Bryant, or you meet I can name any hundreds of them, but they're like Jack Nicklaus, they're a step above. They're you're almost godlike in their demeanor,
So speaking to that, you've like you said earlier in the interview, you've been all over the world and covered so many sports. And has there ever been a situation where you were getting ready to interview somebody where you were, I won't use the word intimidated necessarily, but like we're fans of sports, right? I mean, if Michael Jordan walked up to me right now, I'd probably be tongue tied.
Yeah.
Did you ever run into any of that kind of stuff?
No, my father was a pro ball player in the minor leagues back when the minor leagues baseball was great. So I grew up around a lot because of him. He was friends with Henry Aaron, and I would play baseball against Henry's kids and knew them very well. And so I grew up not really idolizing or looking at, they put the pants on one at a time like everybody else.
Yeah, right.
But the one time I did interview Coach Bryant, and I don't know how much time you have. It's a funny story, but I was a little bit intimidated by him, but not much. But I was still in Panama City. I worked in Panama City for 3 years. And then I've had situations where, and I'm working on a short story book that you guys have inspired me to get back to work on it, about the short stories about people I met and things that happened. Like, I've been cursed out seconds before I go on the air, and then all of a sudden they're the nicest guy in the people. Then after the interview's over, they cuss you out again. The only time, now I used to run around with Michael Jordan in Chicago when he was a rookie, and we struck up a friendship, and so I would be amazed that wherever he went, the bigger he got, I would literally, when he's staying at the Ritz-Carlton, and I lived in Marina Del Rey for the Laker games, and the Bulls would come, I'd have to come in through the kitchen to get to the bar area to meet Michael, because the front of the hotel was 50 people, 100 people deep, just wanting to see him.
Wow.
And I never really understood that, but the funny line was, I make it to the kitchen one time, and Michael looks at me and says, "Alan, would you go get me a cigar?" I said, "That's just great." I said, "I go from being your buddy to now I'm your gopher getting your cigars." Great. But he literally couldn't walk to the cigar lounge from where he was because too many people.
Yeah.
The one time, I'll tell you this funny story, the one time I was ever speechless was I was in Connecticut, flying out of the airport near Bradley International there, and I walked around a corner and I bumped right into Joe DiMaggio. And I looked up, I said, "Holy crap, it's Joe DiMaggio," and my mouth flew open. I was embarrassed because I'd run into him, and he patted me on the head and said, and he says, "I understand."
Nice.
And to this day, I bumbled out something, but you just don't expect to run into Joe DiMaggio.
No.
That was the only one I think I was tongue-tied with.
I can imagine. You talked about your scope. Your Scope-a-dope, yeah. Scope-a-dope, yes, sir. And you said you spent times with Muhammad Ali. I mean, did you cover some of the big fights that he had?
No, he was a little bit before my time. I started covering boxing in 1985. My first fight I covered for ESPN, and you got to understand, ESPN has all these elaborate sets and all this money now. I was standing on top of a satellite uplink truck. No OSHA rules, by the way. I was standing on there. I fell off it on Atlantic City covering the Great White Hope's Cooney versus Spinks.
Nice.
And that was my first fight. And Ali, when his 50th birthday party, one of the greatest moments of my life. I still have it somewhere. I get a Western Union telegram, and it says, "Meet me at Chasen's for my 50th private birthday party, Muhammad Ali."
Cool.
And, so I got it. It was just friends and family. And that night, I'd been going through some kind of problems or physical problems or something. And Ali came across the ring, all the way across the room. And I'm standing there over by the punch bowl or whatever the hell I'm doing because they didn't have any drinks there. And so, of course, he comes over and he asks me, "You all right?" And I said, "Well, I got excellent." He said, "Well, let's talk about it." I said, "Here's the most popular man on the planet who's taking time out to come ask me how I'm doing." And that symbolism blew me away. And then he said, "Look, when this is over, I'll take you back. I'm going back to the hotel. I'll take you back to your studio, and we can talk." And I got to ride in the back of the car with him and Bundini Brown. And to this day, I'm just blown away by the fact that he sat there and listened to me over some nonsense, really nonsense. And he was that kind of person.
That is awesome.
It was an awesome time. Oh, by the way, back to the fight in Atlantic City. If you have time,
yes.
This is a short story I was writing about. I've written about, and I'm up there and I hear this voice below the satellite truck, and I look down and there's a guy pulling a rickshaw, and he goes, "Hey, Alan." I'm looking around. I look down. I see Alan. I look down. I said, "Mike." He said, "Hey, it's Mike Tyson." I said, "I know who you are."
He's pulling a rickshaw?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, pulling a rickshaw. I said, "Mike," and I'm like 2 minutes to the air. I got, the fight's over. Everything's going to break. All the people are coming out of the Atlantic City auditorium. And he's going, I said, "Mike, where you go?" And I had met him before. I did an interview with him before, but when he was in the Catskills. So he knew who I was. I said, "Mike, what are you doing with that rickshaw?" He goes, "Oh, I just borrowed it. I borrowed it from a guy down near the truck place." And I said, "You borrowed it?" I said, "Yeah, I wanted to take you for a ride in my rickshaw." I said, "This person's not your rickshaw, Mike." Number two, whoever you borrowed it from, all these people are getting out, probably needs it right now to make a living. He goes, "No, I want to take you for a ride in my rickshaw." And I said, "Mike, I don't do rickshaws. I'm going on the air." But he said, "But I'm going to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world." I said, "We know this, but I got to go on the air right now." And it was hilarious. And so he sauntered. I don't know where he went. He took the rickshaw back.
Well, that's good.
I almost got a ride.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, Mike.
Dude, all that compilation of those kind of stories would be incredible to read. I mean,
I know we don't have enough time to get the rest of them. We're at our time, Alan, but we got to get you back home because I know there's a lot more coming.
Yeah, and before we let you go, share with us.
I will.
Sorry, go ahead.
You call me anytime, and I'll be glad to spend a few minutes with you guys. It means a lot to me, and like last week when I screwed up and missed the interview. I have a policy. Furman Fisher, you guys know who he was, used to be the editor of Atlanta Journal Sports. You never turn down an interview, and you always talk to people in your business because you're never too big to spend time. And I'm not big at all, but spend time to give people of your time. And I've got like 1,000 stories.
And that'd be gold,
why
man.
can I?
It really would.
Thanks a lot, Alan.
All right, guys.
We've got to go, buddy. We appreciate your time.
Hey,
take care, brother.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Alan Massengale with everything.
That was awesome.
Everything. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a quick break.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand. First to help with community events and fundraisers. First to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations. First to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events. And most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together. That's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
One of my favorite receivers of Auburn ever, honestly. Willie Gosha is on the line. Willie, this is Tom McClung. Welcome to the Applebee's Tailgate Talk, my friend.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. We had one of your teammates, Rob Pate, on earlier in the year. I think you two played together, right?
I think Pate was a couple years after me.
Couple years after you? Okay, my bad on that one. Hey, but...
And you're the only Auburn fan here. You're supposed to be up on that.
You're supposed to know all the Auburn facts. Come on.
All right, Bama fans, settle down. I know Willie and Tyrone Goodson made a tough tandem down there at Auburn, and
they did.
Man, tell us about your time at Auburn, and like I say, those are the Terry Bowden years. Man, we was coming off probation, and all us fans. I was down in Jordan Hare the first year, the undefeated season when we beat Florida, and that I remember those times. Some folks look at them different, but I remember them very well. So. Tell us about your time there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had a good freshman group coming in '93, and we was told that we would just get a couple scholarships taken away from us, and then they finally hit us with no TV. And so all the freshmen got together, and we had a meeting, and we decided to stay and stick in there with Auburn, and we had a great year.
That's impressive. I didn't think things you don't know that go on behind the scenes. So.
Quick question, Willie. Hey, this is Todd. So, did y'all have the opportunity at that time? Because I know rules have changed with the NCAA, through the years. But did y'all have the opportunity to be able to go to another school without having to sit out?
Yes. I think once the probation came, we had the opportunity to transfer, and we'll be eligible right away.
Okay. Well, that was really cool for all y'all to get together like that and stick it out. You know, maybe not so much as a Bama fan, but maybe I wish y'all would have dispersed. But anyway, that's a good story.
Willie, Todd is feeling his oats this morning. We gave him a brand new nickname, and it's Todd the Bod, and it's gone straight to his head.
It's gone straight to my head, bro.
He's not worth shooting. But if I'm not mistaken, you went 2-2 against the Tide, right? 2 wins, 2 losses.
Yes.
Okay. 95, for those who don't remember, I done my research on this one here. If he was picking on me about Rob Pate, but I done my research. 95, Willie had caught 58 passes for 668 yards.
Good year.
That's a solid season.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, under Bowden, we had a pretty good offense, and they used me for more of a possession receiver. So most defense, looking back at tape, 3rd down and 4th down plays, they should have double covered me because pretty much Nix was coming to me. And we had Stephen Davis, and we had a great offensive line with Willie Anderson and Victor Riley. I just wish we could have put it all together and got past Arkansas so we can go to the SEC championship.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. That's true. There were some good teams, and when the ball come Willie's way, he caught it. That's for sure. Are you? I looked on your Facebook page. You're Choctawhatchee in Fort Walton Beach. Are you head coaching or just working with the football team, or how's life now for you?
Yes, right now I'm back at my school I graduated from. I'm the wide receiver coach and the head track coach. So this is my first year back. 3 years before that, I was at Walton High School with Jimmy Ray Stevens, a former Florida Gators coach. So I've been blessed to be around some good coaches.
That's great. Hey, do y'all play Navarre? I think it's the name of high school.
Navarre High School.
Yeah, we all have a really good friend, Coach Greenhall. He's the offensive line coach there, and that's why I was asking.
Now, Willie, you played for Auburn. I'm a Bama fan, but we do have something in common. I read an interview with you, and when you were in high school, and we were both high jumpers in high school.
You were a high jumper?
I was a high jumper in high school,
we're learning
and not only that, but we both we were both kind of on our own. When it came to jumping, because my quote coach, he was the basketball coach, and all he knew to come out there was say, bend your back a little bit more, kick your feet, but that's it. And I feel your pain.
So let me ask you this, Willie. So okay, Tim, what was your highest jump? And Willie,
I was going to ask Willie first. What was your PR?
My PR was 6'10".
6'10". You got me by an inch.
That's impressive.
But that's okay.
Hey, Willie, this is Zach. So you were down there during the Terry Bowden. Were you there during the whole time of Terry Bowden, or were you there when Terry Bowden left and Bill Oliver took over?
Yes, I was there. I came in 93, his first year. And I believe everything happened after the 96 season.
So you played your whole time for Terry?
I played this whole time with Terry.
How was it playing for Coach Bowden?
It was great. We watched a lot of film on Florida State trying to get their offense.
Sure you did.
Yeah, so, watching a lot of film on Florida State, E.G. Green, which is from Fort Walton Beach. We grew up together, and it was fun just watching a lot of tape and seeing my friend out there and trying to get the routes that they were running over there.
Cool. Do you ever go back down to the Plains? Maybe catch a game or two.
Yes, me and my wife tried to get down there to one game. It's kind of hard with the high school football schedule, but we try to catch one game, and we've been blessed over the years to get down there at least once a year.
I believe 2 years ago, I know Coach Nix was on the field. Were you on the field? Was your team honored that year?
I didn't make it that year.
Okay.
Yeah. That game, I didn't make it to that game.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I believe this year, the Alabama A&M game, the 96 will be it'll be a reunion for that team. So we're gonna try to make it to that game.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Well, Willie, thanks so much. You got another question you was leaning to?
Well, I was just gonna ask how's Choctawhatchee, is that the way it is?
What it looked like.
Well, how are they doing this year?
We struggling a little bit. We real young. We had a lot of seniors graduate last year. We got the talent, but it's hard to get that experience when we don't have a lot of varsity players returning. So I think we had 3 on offense and 3 on defense.
Oh wow!
So hopefully each week we get better, and luckily those 2 lost beginning of the season. They're not district games, so we're still in the hunt.
Good deal.
That's great news. Well, Willie, thanks again for joining. I mean, you made this old boy. I used to watch you guys play, and I really enjoyed. You guys had some very good teams back in the day. Thank you so much.
Good luck to y'all, Richard. Good luck, Willie.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Willie Gosha, former Auburn Tiger from 1995 to 1993 to 1996. Guys, we're going to toss it to our sponsors. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888.
Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the far side. He's going to throw it off his back foot deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! James Clemens!
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this coming season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net, on your Amazon Echo device, or on your Play Action Sports app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this coming season from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have yet another exclusive guest, Miss Jennifer Cobb. Let me give to our listeners a little bit of background for Jennifer. She is alumni of NFL cheerleader for the Rams. She's also Team Fox rep for MJFF, I think it's Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Yep. Yes.
Director of Events for Team Gateway to a Cure. Jennifer, welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. No, it's still morning over here, so we're rocking right along.
Okay.
Give everybody an overview of what you're doing, and I love your on your Facebook page is a Parkinson's mess with the wrong chick. Give us a little background of what's going on with that.
Sure. I started Team Gateway to a Cure probably about 4 months ago. The name was actually given to me by the Michael J. Fox Foundation for my efforts. My efforts over the last couple of years with the Fox Foundation, with raising money for Parkinson's research fund for his foundation. And over the last couple of years, I've raised close to $60,000 through a 5K Soul to Soul event that I host here in St. Louis. And when I actually got honored by Michael J. Fox and his foundation for my efforts at the VIP Awards in New York City back in April of last year.
That's
and
awesome.
When I saw Michael, I told him that I was going to do something pretty special. I was going to come back to the city of St. Louis and use my platform not only with the NFL, but my story with my father, who also has Parkinson's and battling it, as well as Michael J. Fox, and really spread the awareness and educate those that are suffering with the disease, but also educate those that are caring for them that are affected with it. The caregivers, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I take care of my dad, and I need my support, and I need to educate myself on what's available and what resources can help me better love and help and encourage and support my father who has the disease. And so with that, I started Team Gateway to a Cure. And what we do is we host events throughout the calendar year, and we raise awareness and funds to support the Michael J. Fox Foundation for research, but also to support the local chapter here in St. Louis, the Parkinson's Disease Association, and then also fund Team Gateway to a Cure to have these amazing events.
Jennifer, hi, this is Todd, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. You mentioned something briefly in that, and that was about the caregivers. And a lot of times that goes unnoticed and not thought of. And obviously with Parkinson's, in most cases, obviously, the person with that, the caregiver's older, so I guess what I'm trying to get at, my son has autism, and of course he's younger.
Sure.
And so we can use things like respite and things of that nature, but there's not necessarily respite out there for situations like yourselves. So yeah, with that said, it's wonderful what you're doing and giving that acknowledgement to the caregivers. You need respite. You need to be able to go out and get a break, as well as the others that are helping take care of your dad. And so through that and through your foundation, are y'all able to do anything like that as far as maybe just a night out for a caregiver or anything like that?
Absolutely. Being a caregiver, it's a lot of work. I'm one of those. I still see my dad as a 15-year-old girl, and it breaks my heart. I'm now middle-aged, and it breaks my heart to see him degenerate, and there's nowhere I can go. Where's my support?
Right.
My mom, the same one, she take care of my dad, and she's older, and she's a little fragile, and she's exhausted, and she hits the wall. Where does she go? Where's her support? And I think it's a family affair. It doesn't matter if it's Parkinson's, autism, Asperger's, Alzheimer's, whatever your cure you're battling, whether it's bullying or whatever. It's a family affair, and it's about empowering those that are caring for those that are going through the battle. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have a loved one, and we're all trying to empower ourselves to be the best version of who we are, so we can care and give them hope and support for what they're going through. My dad is battling a terrible disease, and there is no cure for it.
Yeah.
But there is a cure for bullying, and there is a cure for disability. There is a cure for a lot of things that their medication may not have the answer to, and that's called love and value. And with love and value, there's so much power in that. And, you know, we're really, Team Gateway to a Cure is really all about empowering those that are supporting the ones that are going through the battle. And if you turn the table, we're all going through our own battle, whether it's supporting, dealing with the bullying from those that are going through it, dealing with those that are battling depression, anxiety. You know, Parkinson's has a lot of symptoms that people really don't talk about.
That's true.
Anxiety and depression are one of them. Freezing. Nobody ever talks about freezing. What is freezing, Jen? Freezing is an episode where you want to move and you're frozen. You can't. You're physically frozen in that moment, and you tell your brain to move it, but you can't.
Right.
And it's very disheartening when you're in your 70s and 80s and you're an older person that doesn't move around a lot, and you're in a public place and you're in a freezing moment, and let's say in a bathroom situation, you can't holler because your voice is affected through Parkinson's. No one talks about your voice projection. The voice goes, the tone of your voice goes low. There's also late onset Alzheimer's, which is a sister to Parkinson's, which is another symptom of it. And that's all stimulates from dopamine, which is the chemical in the brain that is directly affected with the Parkinson's disease. And so what Parkinson's medication, the research, what Michael raises a lot of money for, is the medication to put back the dopamine into the system so you can enjoy the things in life. I mean, every one of us chases dopamine in our life. Dopamine is the happiness that you chase in the brain on a daily basis. And dopamine levels are really high in the morning when you first wake up. But as the day goes on, you notice environmental factors, stress, people, whatever, diet, culturally, affects your dopamine levels. And then unfortunately with Parkinson's patients, they have to medicate and put the dopamine back in. We as a society, we look for instant gratification, whether it's food, whether it's likes from Instagram or Facebook, or whether it's a smile from somebody that you work with, or you know, something that you're chasing through exercise, an endorphin high. And so, you know, we're all in the same category, whether you have Parkinson's or just a normal person, a person that has, you know, just a healthy lifestyle. And it's just, you know, it's all about loving and supporting those, whatever you're battling. Because again, like I said earlier, we all have a loved one.
Jennifer, you know, we've seen, like I said, we've seen people, friends and family that's had Parkinson's, but we've seen, you know, some of our favorite athletes and actors, you know, Muhammad Ali, we saw him deal with it. And as you mentioned, Michael J. Fox. And it's just amazing to me how Michael has not let that get him down. You know, he's still, as far as I know, still acts and still, you know, we still get to see him on TV.
Well, guess what? You know why he's that way?
Why?
I'll tell you why he's that way. He's that way because he has an amazing support system. Yeah. And it just goes back to old family values. You know, we all have our family that we look up to support us, whatever we're going through. And Michael has a really, really good support team. His wife, Tracy, his son, Sam, his whole family, the whole foundation, all together. It's all a family affair. And with that, I mean, at the end of the day, when you lay your head on your pillow and you know that you're loved and you're supported, good for you. You know, we all crave for that in our lives in some capacity. And it doesn't matter if you have Parkinson's or depression or anxiety or cancer or whatever it is that you're battling, an addiction, bullying, depression, whatever. We're all, the common denominator with all of that is value and love. And, you know, Team Gateway to a Cure is not only about raising awareness and funds for Parkinson's and Michael J. Fox and his foundation, but it's really to inspire and empower the caregivers that that are supporting them going and battling whatever they're going through. And, you know, my platform with the NFL coming off the field as a cheerleader, I have been blessed to have that platform, and I'm utilizing it as the best capacity. I inspire my children. I'm an amazing mom because of it. I've inspired my father and my mom and my brothers and sisters and my family. But also, more importantly, I'm inspiring the generation behind me to give them the education, the confidence to have that platform within themselves. Because one day, they're going to be doing the exact same thing I'm doing with their parents and their loved ones and their families.
Jennifer, we've talked about, about the foundation, but when were you a cheerleader for the Rams? Were you there at St. Louis or L.A.?
No, the Rams, Mrs. Frontieri, who actually was the owner of the Rams at the time that she brought the Rams from St. Louis from L.A. to St. Louis, and it was when they had the opening auditions for cheerleaders, and they had I guess they had about 2,000, close to 2,000 girls that tried out for the first time the Rams came here, and then they narrowed it down to, I guess, the top 100 girls, and Mrs. Frontieri, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Mrs. Frontieri, she was a Vegas showgirl, and she was very particular with her girls, with the cheerleaders. They had a certain standard that they had to live up to. I mean, we are ambassadors of the NFL, and we're just not all about dancing and showcasing our talent on the field. We're more than that off the field. We have to be able to articulate what we're about independently. We have to be able to talk and be able to meet and greet the public. And we stand for an amazing organization, the NFL. And so with that, the players are also that. Whether they have the shirt on or off the field or on the field, they are representing themselves and a huge organization. And we take a lot of pride in that. So after the audition, you had to go through a couple of months of I guess you could say, spring training, summer training, through camps. They put us out in the public to see how we interact with media. And, and so after all of that, you get narrowed down to the top 40, and I was one of them. And I stayed with them for a number of years up into Super Bowl. We were the worst team in the NFL, and I actually went out to Maui, Hawaii, and won one of the biggest fitness titles in the country, and came back as the fittest woman in America, cheering for the worst team in the NFL.
Congratulations. Rock
that
on.
was kind of funny. Yeah, I know. Good for me. So the media went crazy. Well, the next year, the Rams, they were the greatest team on turf.
Yes,
and they had the fittest woman in America cheering for them. So it was kind of a joke on the field. They thought, well, why don't you guys have the cheerleader train you guys in the training room, because somebody's got to shake you guys up. Well, Marshall and Isaac Bruce and Warner and all those guys, they always got a kick out of it. Orlando Pace and Winston. Awesome. I mean, they were all just amazing guys. And I tell you what, a lot of people don't know this, but those guys, I mean, they are family, and they inspire kids and families in so many different capacities, in so many different ways. And they all have branched off the field to have different organizations and charities that they have started, and they have passions too. And with that being said, I have started mine, and that's Team Gateway to a Cure. I'm very proud of it. It's unfortunate that I have my father's illness, but it's also a blessing because my big mouth can hopefully educate and spread the awareness and also raise some funds. Michael J. Fox was just on the news. He went live through Facebook, and he took 200 Parkinson patients, people who are battling the disease, to Capitol Hill 3 days ago. Well, our research is there. We just need the funds to catch up.
Yeah.
And so that's that's one of the reasons why I started Team Gateway to a Cure. We're all about hosting events, and one being at the end of April, I'll be having a 5K Soul to Soul, SOUL to SOLE. I came up with that name because my father has such a sweet soul, and Parkinson affects your step, your gait, your walk.
Yeah.
And so that'll be the end of April at Fallon, Illinois, at the Egg and I. And you can go on my website, teamgatewaytoacure.org, for more information about the event. And it's interesting when you brought up Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was a near and dear friend of Michael, and he actually just passed away. And a lot of people think, boxing causes Parkinson's. He had the Parkinson's. Boxing doesn't cause Parkinson's, just like bananas don't cause cancer.
Yeah.
You don't know, but there is stress that he endured with his career in the ring, and their stress can cause a lot of things. The stress caused cancer. The stress caused Parkinson's. A lot of trauma. What they're finding through the research is actual that boxing movement, from what scientists have found after studying this in a controlled environment, that boxing movements actually slow down the degeneration of Parkinson's symptoms. And so by boxing and doing those movements, they came up with a program called Rock Steady. And a lot of people don't know this, but 60 Minutes did a show last year, and they did it on Muhammad Ali. And his boxing gym was the first affiliate, Rock Steady affiliate, to have that program in the gym. And what they do is they have these boxing programs with Parkinson patients.
Wow.
That they do for 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks. And they found that these patients, people who are battling the disease, have gone from a wheelchair to walking in a cane.
Really?
So,
that's amazing.
What's that saying that Muhammad Ali, fly like a
butterfly, sting like a bee.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go. Well, I tell you, boxing, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. If that's what it takes to keep the symptoms from getting worse, good for them, right?
Absolutely.
Jennifer, we hope to have you on next month, too. I think April is Parkinson's Awareness Month.
Yep.
Along with Autism Awareness Month. So we're going to try to hit them both next month. Tell folks how they can help out with the Gateway to a Cure, if they're not going to be in this run or anything. So.
Absolutely, yeah. You can go on our website and you can donate to a cure, and that's so helpful because that helps fund our events. We also have an autistic community, the schools in St. Louis and the surrounding area. The kids people who are affected with autism and Asperger's, actually walk in the 5K Soul to Soul with the family event. We have pancakes out there. We have a live band. Well Hungarians will be out there. Old Tower Dealership is one of our major sponsors. They'll be out there. Harley Davidson showcasing their motorcycles. We'll have rock climbing. We'll have the Parkinson's Disease Association will be there. Autism education will be there. It's just a really, really great event. And it's all about empowering and educating and all coming together, raising great funds. But yeah, you can go on teamgatewaytoacure.org, and you can go to our website. And we'd love donations, volunteer. Any way that you can help is awesome.
And I just liked your Facebook page, Team Gateway to a Cure. It's out there too.
Thank you so much. This was such a joy. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Jennifer, we want to thank you once again for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys take care, and look forward to coming back on the show next month.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely have you back.
Take care.
Thank you so much. That was Jennifer Cobb.
That was a
great.
That was a great interview. I mean, she told a lot of things. A lot of people are, say that boxing. I've heard that a lot. Boxing causes Parkinson's.
Well, I mean, they just initially they just figure if you're getting whacked upside the head, it's going to cause some sort of disorder like that.
And just concussions.
Right.
Your ALS and all that too. So. But a lot of times that's not the truth on a lot of it.
Absolutely. Hey, I tell you what, guys and gals, it's time to take a quick break for our sponsors. We'll be right back. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late-inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Shotgun formation, two backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the second man through. Touchdown!
Join us this upcoming season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports. Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the Play Action Sports app. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of our most special guests is online right now on the hotline, former Bama quarterback, Mr. Terry Davis. Terry, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, we having a good time talking Alabama, Auburn football, basketball, and stuff this morning. Talk to us about some of your memories. I've looked up some of your stats. You were actually 5th in the Heisman voting, if I'm not mistaken, during your playing time.
I did. I think that was based on Coach Bryant saying a few things after the LSU game, but that's quite an honor for sure. I had no expectations of that, and certainly teammates were all a big part of that as well. So it was a great honor.
So what's going on? You talked about Coach Bryant. Some of everybody asks when we have a former player from Coach Bryant, what was it like to play for Coach Bryant? What were some of your best memories? You mentioned the LSU game, so something must have happened there. So let's start with that and go from there.
Okay. Well, obviously playing for Coach Bryant is an honor and a privilege for anyone. And coming from a small town in Louisiana, back in the day, there was only three TV stations, so there wasn't a lot of exposure for anyone in a little town like myself to see college football. And the only college football I did see, LSU happened to be on TV on the Saturday afternoon game of the week, and I would watch that. But other than that, I didn't watch any football. So I really can't say that I ever saw Alabama play a football game until I was being recruited. And didn't know much about Coach Bryant. I guess I'd heard the name and Stabler and Namath and all those guys. Didn't know anything about that until they started recruiting me. I got some literature, I guess, from them my junior year. And they sent a brochure down, and I said, gee, that's pretty interesting. So I started following it a little bit and finding out what was going on. But Coach Bryant's just everything anybody's ever said about it. He was tough, he was demanding, but he was fair. If you had a little bit of ability, he gave you a chance to show what you could do, and you got a chance to play. But he didn't. He expected everything to be done the way he wanted it to be done. There was no gray area with him. It was black and white. You do this, and everything will be fine. And I think all the good coaches are like that. And you look at what Saban says. He says it in a different way, but Coach Bryant had the same thing: the attention to detail. There was nothing that really anybody could do on the field. We went over things so much in practice that there was no surprises, basically, and particularly with the wishbone. It was pretty basic. They got to put 6 guys on one side of the field and 5 on the other side. So you go where they got 5, and you can outnumber them. So, but it was an honor and a pleasure for sure.
Now, you mentioned the wishbone. I'm reading here where you were the first wishbone quarterback. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the season prior to that, Coach walled off all the practice fields, didn't allow anybody to come in because he was installing the new wishbone offense. Is that correct? Were you the initial wishbone quarterback?
Yes, after my sophomore year, we've been in the pro set for 3 or 4 years, and we didn't know we were going to the wishbone until fall practice started. So we went through spring training prior to that, running the same pro set offense that we've been running for a couple of years. So there was a total surprise to everybody. We showed up for the first day of meetings and practice, and he walked in the room and said, "We're going to the wishbone." And I guess it hit everybody by surprise, and I was a little bit glad about it because my abilities didn't suit the pro style attack very well. We didn't do that in high school. Most of our stuff in high school was roll out and sprint out, and a lot of running and passing on the corners. So I figured I'd have a better chance to be a better player if we were in an offense that allowed me to, I guess, be on the corners a little bit. So from that standpoint, it worked out great. But we kept it a secret. I don't know how. I guess what helped a little bit was that in the prior season, or maybe the past 2 seasons, he had used the wishbone on the goal line situations for some power play. So it wasn't like we were lining up in something that people hadn't seen us in before, but certainly when they didn't know we were going to run it for the whole game. So when we showed up at Southern Cal and came out on the field, it was amazing how effective it was. So then not being prepared for it, it worked just like it was supposed to work.
Now you talk about how effective it was. Nowadays they've got a lot of folks are going to this hurry up stuff, but back then, you guys were able to run up points on people. I saw Alabama beat California 66-0, and then beat somebody else 77-6. So, and that's without hurrying it up.
True. Well, I think there's a couple things that I think. First of all, if you got better athletes, you can score on in any offense, and typically Alabama's going to have better athletes than a lot of schools. And the other thing is that if you don't practice against it, then you got 1 week to prepare for something that's a very physical offense that you don't see but one time a year. So it puts a lot of pressure on them. And the same thing with the spread offense. When Spurrier started running it, people couldn't stop it. They couldn't figure out how to stop it because he had all these fast receivers, and you try to cover guys that run 4-5 and 4-6s with linebackers that run 5 flat. So it just put too much pressure on the defense. So coaches started recruiting linebackers that could run with backs out of the backfield and cover wide receivers. So they caught up with it. So same thing. The wishbone was for a conference, especially where in a conference situation you're playing teams you play every year, but they only practice against the wishbone one time a year. So I guess it gave us an advantage, but we had such a terrific offensive line. I mean, when you talk about Hannah and Jim Croft and Jimmy Rosser, Jack White, Steve Sprayberry, Buddy Brown, we had some terrific offensive linemen. And not to mention the backs, we had a little old back named Musso that was pretty good. We had a stable of backs. We had Ellis Beck and Steve Boucher, Joe LeBou, Wilbur Jackson. So for the personnel we had, it was a great decision, and Coach Bryant was pretty smart, I guess you'd say. So with the people we had, and the other thing is that we had a defense that was as good as anything in the country. The hardest defenses we played against was our own defense. I hated going against our defense because they were so good. So that allowed us not to have a whole lot of pressure on us as far as scoring a lot of points. Of course, we scored points, but other teams didn't score very many because our defense was so good.
Terry, talk about, I don't know if you ever got into trouble with Coach Bryant, but, I always heard stories about sitting on the couch and looking up to him. Tell us if you ever had to sit on that couch.
No, fortunately, I didn't. There were some guys that tested him, I guess, just mischievous stuff. And back in that time, we had dorms where everybody was together. So you had a dorm director who oversaw the players' behavior, while they're in the dorm. So having a curfew at night and having a coach there that could go through the dorm and the room and check your room, make sure you were in and not out doing what you're not supposed to do. So from that standpoint, it was easier to conform, I guess.
Yeah.
And I see that as, gosh, I don't know how these coaches, and obviously a lot of them can't, and they don't because of some of the troubles these guys get into. But having that kind of control of everybody, limited to what those that wanted to mess up could do. And we had some folks that did some crazy stuff, but and you didn't have the media attention to it that you have today, so you could keep a lot of things under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, we had Conley Duncan on here a few weeks ago, and he talked about how he had to sit looking up from that couch too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank goodness I never made it to the couch. That's a good thing. But we had a good bunch of guys for the most part. We had 2 or 3 that nothing mean or to get you in a whole lot of trouble. But we had some folks that liked to mess up a little bit. But fortunately, it didn't end up being too distracting for the team.
Terry, how often do you get back for games? Do you come back every weekend, or how many games do you get to a year?
I haven't been to a game since about 2009, and that sounds crazy, but I have never been a big spectator. To sit in a grandstand for 4 hours is just not fun for me. I don't enjoy that when you got a TV and a remote control and beverages right there in the bathroom.
Man, I like this guy. I'm an Auburn fan, Terry, but I like the way you think, man. That's awesome.
I just never have. I'd do maybe a game a year right after I got out of school, and then it just and you sit up there in stands and you listen to some of the comments that people make, and even my own friends. I've been over some of my friends' houses here a few years ago, and they would start criticizing the players for saying it nicely, and then they just dog beat them. I said, guys, they're not trying to say bad. They just having a bad day. So when you listen to that for enough times, you just say it's not worth it. So, but I just don't enjoy sitting there for a long time watching games. I always like to play. If I go to a golf tournament, I don't want to watch that. I want to go play golf. So it's just one of those things. I do watch them. I watch them on TV, but I haven't been to too many games.
So what's going on in Terry Davis's life now? You got any books out, or how's things going here? Children, grandchildren?
It's going good. I've been retired now for several years, living down here in a small South Alabama town, and enjoyed it. It's a lot similar to the way I grew up in a small town in Louisiana, so there's not a lot going on. I've got a wonderful wife, and I got 2 grown children that are doing pretty well. I got one in Atlanta and one in Baton Rouge, and they're doing okay. So things are good. I don't want for anything and don't need anything, so I'm basically pretty happy.
That's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we want to thank you again for coming on, Terry. It's always great to hear from former players that's been there and put the helmet on, so to speak. So,
well, it certainly was a privilege and an unexpected honor, I guess. I never dreamed that, my dream was when I was growing up and playing ball was to be able to play college football, and most of that was directed toward LSU. So I never dreamed that somebody else would come knocking, or even that LSU would come knocking. But I did get the opportunity. I worked for it and worked hard at it, and it paid off, and I'm very thankful and blessed for that. But it was a great experience.
That's great. Well, we wish you the best and welcome you back anytime you want.
Okay, Tim, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks. That was former Alabama quarterback Terry Davis.
Terry was the quarterback, the first Alabama game I ever went to see.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, down in Tuscaloosa. I think it was Miami they were playing. And, of course, they rolled all over them.
Mark Rick and the Miami Hurricanes.
That's right. Hey, man, you think about it. You went to one of the very first games that run the wishbone that made Bama famous.
Oh, yeah.
That offense was brutal. It was hard
and mention that coming in, I don't even know what station I was listening to, but they were talking about growing up and only being able to see. They were talking about the basketball tournament, but then I started thinking about football. When we were growing up, you didn't get all these channels.
Yeah.
And
radio.
So you didn't get to see Alabama play every game, every weekend. Yeah. Those were some special, opportunities there. So for all y'all youngins growing up now, you have no idea.
Yeah, I kept thinking. I remember thinking growing up, why am I always seeing Notre Dame?
Yeah,
Southern Cal and Michigan.
And, right. Every now and then you get that lucky regional ABC game, but it still might be like Florida versus Georgia or something, or
I remember it was a big deal when Alabama and Auburn was on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think 72, 73, something like that.
Everything stopped. Everybody
just hearing John Forney just describe it. It's just amazing.
I mean, I don't feel like we're that old, but you had to listen to the game.
Old,
we are. That's what I'm saying. But we had to listen to the Alabama games on the radio.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's back when tickets were like $5-10.
Yeah, and you watch. It's funny. You watch some of these old classic games. Keith Jackson's on the thing, but where's the scoreboard? What's the score? How much time's left? You get so used to seeing that scoreboard and the time just right there all the time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think that Ford Galaxy 500 we had would have made it to Auburn and back in one day. And we sure the heck wasn't going to be saying
well, and you mentioned that we on our way down to that game that I was talking about, we had some kind of trouble with a radiator hose broke or something on the way down to us on the way down there in Bankhead Forest,
Oh, my goodness.
But we got down there on time, and so that was
first Auburn game I went to see was Tyler was 1 and I was 25 years old, the very first one. So to be able to get to see it and experience it was pretty awesome.
I think the first one I went to, and I was definitely at this game. I just don't remember if it was actually my first one, but my girlfriend's parents, Julia Newman, who's recently passed away, he was a great dude. I dated his daughter Nancy, and carried me to the Southern Miss game where Brett Favre was the quarterback. And they beat us, And I remember that game because at the end of the field, the cheerleaders had taken a big bear, a huge bear, and had a houndstooth hat on it and hung it from the goalpost.
Golly.
And they'll say quickly, man, the cops came down there and went, no, you're taking it down right now.
No, that was his senior year, right? Brett Favre's
senior year, yeah.
Because he had that car wreck back during the summer that like to killed him.
And that's why I don't think it was my first game, because I can't remember what year that would have been, but because I know I went, I don't know, but I was at that game. I can remember that bear and stuff.
I remember one Iron Bowl, it was tornado warnings out.
Oh, yeah, that was.
I was at that game.
That was in Birmingham. You were at that one?
Yep, I was.
Yeah, Auburn won that one.
Man.
Yep. I need to quit going because it seems like a lot of the ones I do go to, we're on the losing end of the stick. I just need to just stay at the crib, whether it's at Alabama or Auburn. I've been to Auburn down there and just smiled and laughed, thinking the whole time I'm down there, well, we're going to smoke him, man. Wrong.
You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sanderford Road in Athens. Got You Covered Screen Printing and More.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Alabama High School Sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page, another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC. You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.